Cold night at the foot of the Rockies. EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
On the double.
I got you.
Five.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
He's got his tight end fan. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Locke. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down. Of course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough. If you give up a second one, that's on you. And if there's a third one, I'm getting someone else in the game.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Being strong up the middle is imperative. I don't care what your sport, but in football, when you've got a D tackle who can contribute not only to occupying bodies, but also making plays on the ball carrier, that's when you have the cornerstone of a solid run defense.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the 31, Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. 23 yards the pickup there.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, new lady.
And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Hey, I'm coming.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr looking deep for Julio. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. It's caught, Jones. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 31-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Carr. Jones has it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
At the Broncos' 14-yard line.
Down. 180. Focus, defense, focus.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Switch. Rush in. Greystone, travel. Ready.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 29-yard line.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Broncos 3, Raiders 0.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. To throw it is Locke. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Mike 50. Come off the ball. Watch the ship. Hey,
You draw Corkers.
check 13. Check 13.
Fire.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check. Crunch.
Now.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. And his throw here's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And that takes us from second to third down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
On second down now, it's Hunt trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now! Hey, 180! Hey, we're good, we're good! 180!
Now Carr. Caught. It's Wilson. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
43 to Mike, 43. Check.
Play action. Now it's Carr. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
What now? 185!
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Ready, break.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. It doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
50 to Mike.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he powers his way up past the 30. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Third and 3.
Let's go. 15, Ronnie. 15 line.
Locke going to try and throw on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? No.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
That good for 22 and a first down. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
They're running it.
Now it's Lindsey. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. From the 41, Locke, and that is incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Shotgun snap to Locke. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
To throw again. Carr. He's airing it out for Williams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
At the Broncos' 48-yard line.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Carr. This complete to Jones. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
And a Raider first down.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
93.
Carr to throw again. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
We won it. Coming my way.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now Carr. There goes a deep ball, end zone. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams as the first half is winding down, and the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
Raiders 7, Broncos 3.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, We know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. To throw his Carr. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure whatever the reason. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Locke. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Just work with me a second here because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Second and 10.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Has several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. On second down. It's Hunt, and little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Push him back.
From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. So awfully close that time, but his kick's going to come up short by about the length of the football.
Yeah, Brandon, he got a little help from the mile-high air, but that one just didn't quite get there.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game. And he fires one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. 20, 10, and the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it?
It's a foot race. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Here's Locke to throw, and this one is caught. So they come up with a 2-point conversion, and that makes this a 1-point game now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs at defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
Now, 53, 180. Hey, we're good. 180.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt.
Oh, yeah!
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Carr going to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. It got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Hey, 734.
From the gun, Carr. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Carr. Got him in. It's Brown. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Hey, wahoo!
Locked to throw on second down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Carr now to throw. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Jacobs. He was brought down by Michael Davis.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now, 185.
Let's go, D. Check, 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 check.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Raiders on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Carr. It's caught. Jones. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 32-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Chris Harris with a pick. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Operating from the gun, Carr, and this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Shoot! Watch out!
6'6", bullet high.
Popo's the Mike. Mike's Popo. I'm coming after you. Slam.
Let go.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
I know you felt that one.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Hey, here we go. Kill. Hey, turn it.
Protein spill.
Watch out.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Looking in zone for Jones. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. the things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The Raiders on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, ready.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Throwing on first down is Locke. Man open, it's Goodwin. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Hey, orbit.
Locke now on first down. That is incomplete. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Locke will try again on second down. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Broncos on third down. Just one conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Garyon Conley. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun. Carr able to push his way, and he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now Carr. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Von Miller, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. From the gun, Carr. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Read it well, and it's picked. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
Well, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching the kicks away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. Just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw it is Locke. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Throwing now is Locke. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 32-yard line.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Oakland, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for